Hello, amazing students. Welcome to English with Sophie. You know English. You've studied for years, your grammar is solid, your vocabulary is growing. But here's the real question: does your English sound like asterisk you yet? Can you hear your personality in your sentences? Or does something still feel borrowed? Many advanced learners reach a strange place. They speak correctly, but their words feel empty. Like reading from a script someone else wrote. The grammar is right. The words are right. But the voice, it's missing. This isn't about mistakes anymore. It's about presence. It's about control. Because fluency without identity is just accurate repetition. And you deserve more than that. So if you already know the words, why do native speakers still sound different? Let's talk about something simple. Your morning routine, everyone knows how to describe it. I wake up at 7, I brush my teeth, I have breakfast, I go to work. Correct, absolutely. Natural, not quite. This is what B2 English sounds like: clear, functional, but flat. It's like reading a checklist out loud. There's no texture, no rhythm, no sense that a real person is speaking. You're reporting events, not living them. And here's the problem: most learners stop here. They think fluency means saying things correctly. But advanced English doesn't just report. It invites. It creates an atmosphere. At C1, this same story doesn't sound routine, it sounds lived. So what changes? It's not about learning harder words, it's about reframing. Advanced speakers don't just describe, they choose what to emphasize, they control focus. Let me show you. Instead of "I woke up at 7 and it was quiet," an advanced speaker might say, "I woke up to silence. Not even the fridge dared to hum." Same meaning, completely different feel. You're no longer listing events, you're painting a moment. You're making the listener see it, feel it. This is the shift from B2 to C1. From correct to compelling. From grammar to voice. Let's test how you'd sound if you stopped reporting and started inviting. Most learners speak like they're reading bullet points. Each sentence is separate, each thought is boxed. I got up, I made coffee, I checked my phone. Accurate, yes, but listen to how an advanced speaker might say it. I got ready for work slowly, like the day could wait. Notice the difference. It's not just the words, it's the rhythm, the pause, the way the sentence breathes. This is what we call asterisk intention. Every sentence has a hidden personality. And when you control that personality, you control how people listen to you. But what makes this sound advanced isn't pronunciation. It's the hidden structure underneath. Here's something most teachers won't tell you. Advanced speakers constantly choose what to skip. They don't say everything. They trust the listener to follow. Compare these two versions. I took a shower and then I got dressed and then I made breakfast. Now this: shower, clothes, coffee, done. The second one sounds faster, sharper, more natural. Why? Because it removes the clutter. It trusts rhythm over repetition. This is called linguistic compression asterisk, the native instinct to cut out what the listener already assumes. Fewer words, more impact, less explanation, more confidence. Notice how fewer words can actually sound more fluent. Let's test this idea. Many learners believe that longer sentences equal sophistication. But that's not how fluency works. Length without control is just noise. What matters is compression with purpose. Listen. By the time I left, the street was already awake. Short, smooth, cinematic. You didn't need to say, I opened the door and walked outside and noticed people were already moving around. The advanced version trusts the image. It paints the scene without over-explaining. This is the compression test. Say less, but make every word count. Cut the filler, keep the feeling. Now, what happens when we expand again, but with control? Because here's the flip side. Expansion isn't bad. Overexpansion is. There's a time to stretch a sentence for tone, for mood, for style. Listen to this. I left late, the kind of late that makes coffee taste guilty. That's purposeful expansion. You added words, but they deepen the feeling. They created atmosphere. Compare that to, I left late, which means I was running behind schedule, so I felt a bit anxious about my timing. Too much. The emotion drowns in explanation. Advanced fluency is knowing when to compress and when to expand. It's rhythm meeting emotion. Hear that? That's rhythm meeting emotion, the heartbeat of C1 English. Now let's put this into motion. Advanced fluency feels like storytelling even when you're just describing your day. It flows, it moves. It doesn't stumble over connectors or apologize for pauses. Here's an example, don't analyze it yet. Just feel the packing. The alarm went off before the light came in. I reached for my phone, swiped past the news, and let the silence sit a little longer. Coffee could wait, the world not yet. You're not hearing a routine, you're hearing a moment. a choice, a voice. That's the flow illusion, when structure disappears and only feeling remains. But don't decode it yet, just feel the packing. Now freeze, let's look at what just happened. Notice how pauses replaced connectors. You didn't hear and then I did this and then I did that. You heard rhythm instead. Coffee could wait, the world not yet. Two short beats, one question, pure control. This is what separates intermediate from advanced, the invisible glue of rhythm. Advanced speakers don't rely on transition words. They rely on timing, on breath, on knowing when silence says more than words. And here's the truth. Most fluent speakers hit a ceiling because they never notice what they're not saying. This is where most fluent speakers hit a ceiling. They never notice what they're not saying. Let's go back to I sentences for a second. I woke up, I made coffee, I checked emails. Grammatically perfect. But notice how repetitive it feels, how monotonous. Now watch this shift. Made coffee, checked emails, wondered why Mondays feel heavy. Subject dropped. Rhythm restored. The focus moves from who to what asterisk and how. This is a native instinct. We drop subjects when the context is clear. It's not informal. It's efficient. It's voice. You've just moved from description to voice. And that's the moment your English starts to sound like asterisk you asterisk. You've just moved from description to voice. But voice isn't just about structure. It's about emotion. Many learners flatten their tone for safety. They avoid sounding too casual or too dramatic, but that's exactly what makes them sound robotic. Emotion doesn't come from adjectives. It comes from verb choice, from rhythm, from attitude. Compare. I went to my desk and started working. Now this, dragged myself to the desk. Or slid into work mode. Same action, completely different feeling. The second versions reveal something: effort, ease, mood. That's emotional modulation. And it doesn't require fancy words, just intentional ones. Control isn't about sounding perfect, it's about deciding how much of yourself to reveal. Here's another advanced move: perspective swap. Native speakers shift perspective constantly, not randomly, but for style. Instead of always saying, I felt, or I noticed, they might say, morning feels shorter when you start late. Notice the shift. It's no longer just about you. It's about the experience itself. The moment becomes universal, relatable. This adds texture without adding words. It's a subtle rhythm change that makes your speech feel more varied, more layered, more alive. Let's stretch your range, beyond grammar into viewpoint. Let's talk about time. How do advanced speakers make time asterisk move in their stories? They don't just say, then this happened, then that happened. They compress time like a film editor. Hours blurred until lunch. The morning vanished into emails. These aren't metaphors for poetry. They're natural fluency markers. They show that time isn't a series of events. It's a asterisk feeling asterisk. And when you can make time feel different in your speech, you're no longer describing. You're directing. You're shaping how the listener experiences your story. You're starting to sound cinematic, but we're not done. Let's get specific. Word choice matters, but not the way you think. It's not about using difficult words. It's about using asterisk, precise asterisk words that sound lived in. Natural, owned. Compare, I got my bag and left. Now I grabbed my bag and left. Better, now I snatched my bag on autopilot. That's precision. You can asterisk see asterisk the action. You can feel the rush, the habit, the emotion. Advanced speakers don't reach for impressive words. They reach for the asterisk, right asterisk words. Words that fit the feeling, not the dictionary. Precision as identity. But word choice alone won't carry you. You need the rhythm to match. Now it's time. Let's shadow. I'm going to give you a full passage, an advanced version of a daily routine. Don't think, just repeat. Let your voice follow the rhythm. Here it is. The alarm didn't wake me. I was already half conscious, staring at the ceiling, waiting for permission to move. Coffee first. Always coffee first. The kitchen felt colder than usual, or maybe I just noticed it more. Emails could wait. The day hadn't earned my attention yet. Now say it again. Feel how your voice smooths out. How the sentences connect without trying. Now listen again. What's really happening under the surface? Let's slow it down. What you just felt was asterisk architecture, hidden rhythm. Every sentence balanced compression, expansion, and pause timing. Coffee first, always coffee first. That's repetition with variation, emphasis through echo. The day hadn't earned my attention yet. That's expansion with attitude. And the pauses, those are microbreaks that let meaning breathe. This is the invisible structure of advanced fluency. You can't fake it by memorizing phrases. You have to hear asterisk it, feel it, control it. Once you see this, you can't unhear it, but can you control it? Here's your challenge. Right now, describe your morning routine. Say it out loud. Once naturally. Then say it again using the tools we just explored: compression, expansion, subject, dropping, rhythm, and pause. Don't overthink it, just try. You'll immediately hear the difference. The first version sounds like reporting. The second sounds like asterisk you. That shift, that's not imitation. That's range, that's control. That's your voice finally showing up in your English. That second voice, that's not imitation. That's you with range. Let's be clear about something. Fluency isn't about sounding native. It's about sounding asterisk, decided asterisk. It's about knowing what you want to say and how you want to say it. Formal or casual, cinematic or minimal, warm or sharp, you get to choose. That's agency. And agency is what separates intermediate learners from advanced speakers. Intermediate learners ask, "Is this correct?" Advanced speakers ask, "Does this sound like me?" When you reach that point, English stops being a test. It becomes a tool, a voice, a version of yourself you finally recognize. So what does control actually sound like? Control sounds like this. I didn't rush, I arrived. Two short sentences, but listen to the tone. Confident, calm, intentional. That's not grammar, that's asterisk, presence asterisk. Or this, the meeting ran long, but I didn't mind. I needed the quiet afterward more than the time. Notice the packing, the balance, the way the second sentence expands just enough to show reflection. This is the precision threshold where fluency becomes artistry, where every word is exactly where it should be. Not because the rule says so, but because you decided. That tone, that's the C2 signal, effortless precision. You hear English differently now. You notice the pauses, the rhythm, the choices behind every sentence. That awareness, that's your new foundation. So here's your final shadowing passage. Don't just repeat asterisk, inhabit it. Morning arrived without asking. I let it in slowly, one breath at a time. The street hummed below. Life already in motion. I wasn't late. I was deliberate. And that made all the difference. Now say it. Feel the weight of each phrase, the control in every pause. You don't need to sound perfect. You need to sound decided. Next time you speak, don't ask if it's correct. Ask if it feels alive.